and frustrating behavior of a wife who was abused by her narcissistic husband. Engaging in a relationship with a narcissistic partner poses a formidable obstacle, especially for wives who discover themselves ensnared within the intricate web of emotional abuse. It is imperative to discern the nuanced cues of abuse to effectively facilitate support and intervention in these delicate circumstances. Behavior number 1, social estrangement. A striking indicator of narcissistic abuse is the gradual retreat of wives from their once thriving social circles. Narcissistic partners employ an array of manipulative techniques to tighten their grip on their spouses, often resulting in their isolation from friends and family. The pervasive emotional abuse inflicted upon these wives instills feelings of shame and apprehension regarding external judgment, rendering social interactions increasingly daunting as the narcissist's influence tightens its hold. Consequently, the wife may find herself struggling to forge connections with others beyond the confines of the toxic relationship, succumbing to a pervasive sense of solitude and desolation. Envision a scenario where a wife, once an active participant in social gatherings, begins to recede from such engagements. The fear of societal scrutiny and the burden of rationalizing her partner's erratic behavior become overwhelming in social settings. She may resort to fabricating excuses for her partner's conspicuous absence or unpredictable mood swings, inadvertently alienating herself from her support network. This withdrawal is not a deliberate choice, but rather a consequence of the emotional manipulation she endures at home, leaving her feeling ensnared and incapable of seeking external assistance. Behavior number 2, anxiety around men. Another subtle yet telling indication of narcissistic abuse manifests in the heightened anxiety experienced by wives in the presence of men. The persistent cycle of belittlement and manipulation perpetrated by narcissistic partners inflicts significant damage to their self-esteem, resulting in a pervasive discomfort during interactions with individuals of the opposite gender. The lingering fear of judgment and anticipation of emotional abuse extend beyond the confines of the primary relationship, permeating encounters with men and perpetuating an enduring state of unease. This heightened anxiety serves as a protective mechanism, a learned response honed through navigating a world where trust is elusive and genuine connections are overshadowed by the looming spectre of a narcissistic partner's influence. Consider the plight of a wife whose anxiety around men intensifies as a direct consequence of narcissistic abuse. Once poised and self-assured in social settings, she now navigates interactions with male acquaintances with trepidation and uncertainty. The partner's incessant comparisons and hurtful remarks have eroded her confidence, leaving her feeling vulnerable and apprehensive. Even casual conversations with male friends or colleagues evoke discomfort, as she harbors a deep-seated fear that any semblance of friendliness may be misconstrued or exploited within the ongoing emotional turmoil she endures at home. Behavior number 3, spontaneous tears. In the intricate dance of narcissistic abuse, a common emotional response is the sudden onset of unexplained crying spells. The relentless stress, manipulation, and volatile emotional climate within the relationship create fertile ground for intense emotional upheaval. Wives often find themselves engulfed by spontaneous bouts of tears as the cumulative weight of enduring psychological abuse takes its toll on their mental well-being. Imagine a scenario where a wife, seemingly without warning, is overcome by episodes of tearfulness during mundane activities. These instances of emotional release serve as her body's innate mechanism for coping with the overwhelming strain imposed by life in a narcissistic environment. Even minor disagreements or critical remarks can act as triggers, prompting an outpouring of emotions as the accumulated anguish seeks an outlet through tears, albeit momentarily easing the burden of emotional turmoil. Behavior number 4, sudden emotional storms. In the tempestuous realm of narcissistic abuse, a common phenomenon is the sudden onset of intense emotional storms. Wives may find themselves caught in whirlwinds of anger, frustration, or profound sadness, seemingly out of sync with the present circumstances. These turbulent emotional surges are a direct result of the relentless manipulation and gaslighting tactics employed by the narcissistic partner, pushing them to the brink of emotional endurance. Imagine the experience of a wife who, amidst a seemingly ordinary conversation, is suddenly swept away by a torrent of intense emotions. These powerful emotional reactions are not unfounded. Rather, they represent a response to the constant emotional manipulation inflicted by the narcissistic partner. The unpredictable nature of these emotional storms mirrors the chaotic landscape of the abusive relationship, underscoring the profound toll of narcissistic abuse on emotional stability. Behavior number 5, loss of appetite. Narcissistic abuse exacts a toll not only on emotional well-being, but also on physical health. A prevalent manifestation is the loss of appetite, wherein the stress and anxiety stemming from the abusive relationship disrupt the wife's ability to derive pleasure from and engage with food. Imagine a scenario wherein a wife, once an enthusiastic connoisseur of hearty meals, now struggles to muster the desire to eat. The burden of enduring constant emotional manipulation has tied a knot in her stomach, rendering the act of consuming food an arduous endeavor. This loss of appetite serves as a tangible manifestation of the psychological distress she grapples with, leaving her feeling both physically and emotionally depleted. Behavior number 6, desire to return home early. A pronounced inclination to return home early serves as a conspicuous indicator of a wife ensnared within a narcissistic relationship. The apprehension of confronting the narcissistic partner's volatile mood swings or manipulative tactics fosters a pervasive sense of anxiety surrounding the prospect of remaining outside the confines of home for an extended duration. Envision a wife attending a social gathering who finds herself constantly glancing at the time and expressing a fervent desire to depart prematurely. This eagerness to retreat to the sanctuary of home is not born out of a lack of enjoyment in the external environment, but rather a profound apprehension regarding the potential repercussions of lingering outside. The spectre of the narcissistic partner's unpredictable behavior looms large, compelling her to prioritize an expeditious escape from external pressures and seek solace within the perceived safety of her domestic haven. Behavior number 7, resistance to being late. In wives enduring narcissistic abuse, a conspicuous behavioral pattern emerges: resistance to tardiness. The apprehension of incurring the narcissistic partner's ire for any perceived delay amplifies, rendering punctuality a paramount strategy for circumventing conflict and preserving a semblance of autonomy. Envision a scenario wherein a wife meticulously orchestrates her schedule to ensure punctuality. The dread of arriving home past an agreed-upon time is propelled by the looming spectre of potential repercussions. Punctuality transcends mere habit, evolving into a vital survival tactic aimed at mitigating the risk of inciting the partner's wrath and manipulative tactics. Behavior number 8, sudden pallor and tension. The toll exacted by narcissistic abuse is often palpably reflected in the physical demeanor of wives, particularly through a sudden onset of pallor and tenseness. The persistent stress, anxiety, and emotional manipulation leave an unmistakable imprint on their countenance, manifesting in observable physical symptoms. Imagine a wife whose once radiant countenance now appears drained of colour, marked by an unmistakable tenseness. This abrupt shift in appearance is not merely indicative of fatigue, but rather emblematic of the profound emotional strain she grapples with. The deleterious effects of the narcissistic partner's behavior have taken a tangible toll, leaving an indelible mark on her physical visage that mirrors the internal anguish she endures. Behavior number 9, stress-induced discomfort. In the tumultuous landscape of narcissistic abuse, stress emerges as a formidable foe, often materializing in the form of persistent headaches or bodily discomfort experienced by wives ensnared in such toxic relationships. The emotional toll exacted by the relentless cycle of abuse gives rise to tangible physical symptoms, perpetuating a distressing cycle of anguish. Envision a scenario where a wife frequently laments about suffering from headaches or bodily aches. These physical manifestations are not isolated occurrences, but rather symptomatic of the enduring stress and emotional turmoil she grapples with within the confines of her home. The body becomes a living testament to the unseen scars of narcissistic abuse, bearing witness to the profound impact of psychological distress on physical well-being. Behavior number 10, averted gaze. In the intricate tapestry of narcissistic abuse, avoidance of eye contact emerges as a prevalent behavioral hallmark among afflicted wives. The ceaseless onslaught of belittlement and manipulation corrodes self-esteem, transforming direct eye contact into a source of discomfort and potential threat. Imagine a wife who consistently evades meeting another's gaze during interpersonal exchanges. It is not merely a gesture of timidity, but a learned response honed through years of enduring her partner's scrutinizing glare. Direct eye contact serves as a conduit for further judgment and potential emotional assault, compelling her to avert her gaze as a protective measure against further harm. Behavior number 11, apology overload. In the intricate dance of narcissistic relationships, over-apologizing emerges as a subtle defense mechanism wielded by wives to navigate the treacherous waters of unpredictability. Caught in the relentless current of appeasement and conflict avoidance, they find themselves drowning in a deluge of apologies, often for transgressions not of their making. Picture a scene where a wife is caught in a perpetual cycle of apology, her words dripping with remorse for even the most trivial of missteps. Each apology, though undeserved, serves as a shield against the looming spectre of confrontation within the tumultuous confines of the abusive dynamic. In this fragile equilibrium, apologies become the currency of survival, a means to ward off the storm clouds of emotional turmoil that threaten to engulf our fragile sense of peace. Behavior number 12, decision paralysis. In the shadow of narcissistic influence, spouses often find themselves trapped in a maze of indecision. This paralysis, born from a deep-seated mistrust in their own judgment, is fueled by the haunting spectre of potential backlash and further manipulation. Imagine a scene where a wife stands at the crossroads of even the simplest choices, her mind swirling with doubt and uncertainty. Each decision becomes a labyrinth of conflicting thoughts, as she desperately seeks external validation or assurance. Her hesitance is not a reflection of ineptitude, but a product of the insidious erosion of her confidence by a narcissistic partner. The fear of misstep looms like a dark cloud, casting a pall over her every move and perpetuating the cycle of dependence and subservience. In this narrative of uncertainty, the wife becomes a reluctant actor, ensnared in a web of doubt spun by the manipulative hand of her narcissistic counterpart. Recognizing the subtle manifestations of narcissistic abuse is paramount in providing support to those affected. By familiarizing ourselves with these 12 behaviors, we cultivate a more compassionate and enlightened community, fostering an atmosphere where individuals confronted with narcissistic manipulation feel empowered to seek assistance and liberate themselves from its coercive grip. Today's video will reveal the one thing that narcissists are most afraid of, and they'll do anything to keep it from anyone else. A narcissist will always try to put on a show that makes them look like they can do and know anything. What they look like aside, they're scared of a few things, one of which makes their days stressful. Narcissists are known to be self-centered and vain. They believe we put them at the heart of everything we do because they are unable to believe otherwise. People who are narcissists often try to act smart and reasonable, but they're always at odds with themselves. They always have to pick what's real and what's not. Other people are hurt and used by them because they fear being hurt or used by others. They feel like they need to act first because they believe everyone is out to get them. Even though they always think the worst, they always act happy and charming to hide their inner fears. But why do they think this? Today, I want to be clear about this. But first, thanks for watching this movie. If you could help this channel grow by sharing this movie with friends, family, or other people you care about, that would be great. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss any future changes. Thank you for your help. Now I'm going to talk about how narcissists see you as a copy of themselves. How does this make them feel? How does it affect the people around them? And how does it connect to their need to be in charge? Narcissists often start by blaming others for their own flaws, bad motives, bad feelings, and so on. That is, they don't own up to what they do and instead point the finger at other people. The narcissist, on the other hand, thinks that everyone is out to get them. They plan, cheat, and lie when they're with other people. They always feel like they need to be on guard against a threat that doesn't exist, but seems very real to them. And it's all because they are afraid. They think that other people don't like them and want to hit them or say bad things about them. Yes, this can happen to anyone, but let's focus on narcissists for now, because their fear is so much bigger than ours. You can tell a narcissist doesn't care about or trust other people when you get close to them. The mean or rude things they say in public might sound like jokes, but they're really just letting you know how they feel. To their surprise, though, most people believe they are kidding. One way they are mean or put someone down is through dark humor. They think everyone else does too, because they treat everything like a game. Even if it's only in their heads, they believe that everyone else is fake, sneaky, always looking for ways to take advantage of others, and a liar. Being the best is the most important thing for narcissists. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. They need to be ready for everything all the time. They want everyone to believe them, even if no one else does. This game is won by the best person. They treat you like an enemy because they believe everyone else is against them and is like them. It's another reason why they see everyone as a threat. Because they are afraid, they don't trust or like other people, which makes things worse. If you can do something they can't, they will hate and dislike you even more over time. They don't understand how anyone else could be truly happy and content, because they're not happy or content themselves. They need other people to agree with them in order to live. It's hard for them to understand that you're unique. They don't believe you're better than them. They hurt you in part to show you at your worst. They'd do anything to make you mad. They would point the finger at you and blame you to make you feel bad about yourself. They make you feel confused and sad because they mess with your thoughts and feelings. Narcissists only want to show that they are better than you and that you should pay attention to them. A lot of people who have been hurt by a narcissist fear them the same way the narcissist fears them. They feel like they can't handle things by themselves. They are very good at getting other people, especially close friends and family, to take on their bad traits and feelings. Someone who is a narcissist can pull you into their world so that you can't leave until you become what they want you to be. The narcissist thinks we are that person, but that's not who we are. If we work hard and love ourselves, we can get through these problems just fine. Nasty people want us to believe what they make up about us. Narcissists, on the other hand, always have a lot of paranoia and other bad feelings. It's a big part of who they are. This person is always tense because they are afraid. They're afraid of being judged or made to feel bad because they don't want to be seen. They see the world and people in it differently after doing it. Every part of their lives is filled with fear, which makes them hold a low frequency. This kind of person is driven by a strong fear. But when they feel like they have power over other people and their environment, the fear goes away. It turns into ego. Narcissists won't see you as a threat as long as they're in charge of your life. They think this game is all about being in charge and having the most points. They can't see the truth because they are scared. There's also a danger that they believe the enemy is outside when it's really inside them. Don't forget that the narcissist fears you the most. Watch out for these people and take care of yourself. I hope this short summary helps. Leave a comment below telling us what you think and what you've been through. If you want to see more videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon below the movie. Thanks for taking the time and being interested.